Hello.
Hola.
Hey,
I
Hello.
hello.
Hi.
Speak of the devil.
Oh lol. He said it. I typed it.
The fact do I have game sound at 70%? Far too low.
Hey. Hello.
Man.
Hello, my lovelies.
Hey, Dashi.
Dashy!
Hello.
Faceless! How are we all today? Good chat.
Looking forward to this.
Dashi, I've had a good day with kittens. They're sleeping now, though, which means I'm expecting them to wake up mid-raid and start causing chaos. Right, so tonight I would like to see a bit more focus on execution. I know I missed the last raid, but I've had a rundown of what the issues were. So what I really want to see is if there's something that's a priority, stop DPS and do it. For example, ballistas, bombs, getting out of the Ring of Frost, getting out of the frontal cone. I am going to be calling avalanches as usual. If there's a frontal straight after an avalanche, ranged, expect to sidestep it. Don't keep DPSing, get out of that cone. Right, we're just getting the group set up and the AA sorted out, and then we can get going. I believe groups are set, so zone in. If you don't have a Vantage rune for any reason, grab a Vantage rune. Right, let's get cooling down, let's get a feast, and let's get going. So make sure you know your assignments. Make sure you're paying attention for the frontal cone when it's after avalanche. And the ring of ice, we really want people to get out, well out. Even if there's no fire, the priority is to be outside the ring, and we'll dispel it if needed. So also check your groups for the intermission. We've got interrupts assigned. Ayumu is going to be doing a immunity run through and interrupt the third one. We've got interrupts assigned for the rest. And we're trying out an 11-9 split, so it's going to be groups 1 and 3 plus Ayumu going left and groups 2 and 4 going right.
I'm sorry, but if I'm going left, how can I interrupt right?
You're going right, I thought. If you're not, then if you're needed on the left side, we'll have someone else assigned for that interrupt.
Oh, I'm just in group 3.
Okay, then we'll need the interrupt changed.
Can you cancel devotion one?
No.
Okay, I won't put it in my macro.
Okay, groups 1 and 3 take 2 flasks. 2 and 4 just take 1, please.
I took a second fast for some pilots. Just a someone from
And just to be clear, when it says parentheses except.
Let's accept a Yumu.
Ah.
Oh, sorry, it's Tuesday. Shit.
It is Tuesday, Booth. Are you thrown off by the bank holiday?
Yeah, that's exactly. I was watching some YouTube and I saw some.
You in if we need to bench anyone.
Okie doke.
That's a fine.
Let's get going. Yeah, we're still using a lock portal. You don't have to use the lock portal, but it's there to help you get back safer. I really don't want to see people getting frozen. So remember, tight clump. And if you're running avalanche, make sure you're out in time so you don't get people hit. You're back in time so you don't get frozen, and you use the clump or the fire to reset as needed. Yeah, I can stick a marker on your ranking.
Woohoo!
What marker did you have? Was it blue?
wasn't blue, yeah.
Okay.
Didn't somebody say don't trick the tanks?
Don't trick base.
Ah.
Because otherwise it messes up aggro.
Means I can't do damage.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Bam!
Boat left.
I think
Please get the colors now.
Freezing Blast. Set Charge. Freezing Blood. Freezing Blood. Frozen Siege.
Use the res.
Freezing Blast.
I'm resin.
Switching sides.
I'm with DC.
Freezing Blast. Ring of Ice.
Get out.
Howling Winds. Chilling Touch.
Avalanche.
Freezing Blood.
She can do frontal after, so assume it's on
Chilling
range.
Touch. Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
Bam!
Boat right.
Time War.
This bow
Chilling
got
Touch.
actually
Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche. Assume it's on your range.
Ring of Ice.
Get out.
Chilling Touch.
Okay, move left to the next boat.
Freezing Blast. Howling Winds.
Bam!
Frozen Chilling Touch.
Left
Freezing
boat.
Blood. Freezing blood. Freezing blood.
I hope you don't mind the cold.
Avalanche.
Sharing
Frontal
touch.
after.
Freezing blast.
Range
Set
dodge.
charge. Frozen siege. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you
Get out.
Only good killers can swim better than the sea.
Okay, transitioning soon. Watch your stats.
I will come
Bam!
Avalanche. And clump on green.
Frozen. Frozen.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, it's going to be a wipe now because of the freezing and the dead.
I lured you into open waters.
So let's have those of us who are alive. Let's have a little practice of the movement before we all get ice blocked. Yeah, that should be about everyone frozen, so it should now just auto wipe us.
Beware, beware of me.
Twice on bomb duty. Yeah, so remember bombs over DPS, really important those go overboard. But hopefully we won't have too many of them with the MCs.
People also need to be a bit faster reacting when you get debuffs and stuff. Same goes for when Jaina does her circle. Even if she does get obscured, you still have your boss visuals on the right hand side of the screen by default. You can see the cast, make sure you're in the fire, do not get frozen. Execution over output, always.
And just for the range group, I will always try to go back to the center instead of going to either side due to avalanche. So if you see me start moving towards the center, just follow, because I'll just be.
Everyone's using the avalanche bar, right?
Everyone should be. If you're not, please get it. It does help you know when to move, and it will stop you putting it on the clump.
I was going to say, can you do me a massive favor? Can you drop the first avalanche here on the marks? Like the first tick. Make sure it drops here before you move. It'll make my life a lot easier. I know a way of me doing it better. And is that I run with one of the range people, basically. Because I can leap.
Yeah, you can have to do
my
that.
problem is when I stay close, I don't have a speed boost. So I often get clipped by mine because I'm not fast enough.
Okay, what
I
about using
don't
a priest shield?
specifically. Yeah, priest shield, but it's their mind controlling that's not really viable.
Yeah, sure. We've only got 2 priests tonight. Yeah, we can have you do. You can run with one of them. That's not a problem.
So yeah, that's what I did, but someone has already fucked off. So, was struggling. But if you wait and drop your first one here, then it's pretty easy. Unless you have to like hit the end one, but it should work out anyway. Who's Frazzle then? That's
Twy.
right? Yeah. I was like, that's a mage.
Yeah, we're usually calling him by his previous tune's name, I think. It was a
So
good
we used to
expansion
call him.
before I
We used
stopped
to
calling
call
him
him.
Harbinger.
We used to call him Twy when he was playing. Sorry, Twy when he played his mate, didn't we?
Yeah, and then when he was playing as Druid originally, I was still calling him Harb after his Warlock.
Did Morg DC?
I think so.
I'm logging in.
Imagine
No problem.
DCing Morg. Imagine DCing mid-mythic force.
That's a good point, Dashi. We should probably do that. That would be appropriate. So just a reminder, we worked out most of the time when ranged you're going to need to sidestep the frontal cone, it's after avalanche. So if there's an avalanche and the frontal cone is available for her to cast, I'm calling it. So you know to be ready, and then I'm calling it again when she casts it, so do not get hit. Surely we should be calling Dashi Chanks. Or lesser Chanks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Bam!
Boat left. Avalanche.
Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
Switching sides.
Freezing Blast.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche. She can do frontal after.
Howling Ring of Ice.
Get out.
And with the boss thing.
Ice block in the back.
Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege.
Break him out.
Bam!
Boat right.
Time Warp. Freezing Blast. Chilling Touch. Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
Searing Pitch.
She can do cone after.
Freezing Blood. Searing Pitch.
Let's switch sides.
Scaring you up.
Freezing Blast. Ring of Ice.
Get out. Then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Frozen
Bam!
Siege.
Boat left.
Howling Winds. Freezing Blood.
Hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Chilling Touch.
You will be washed away.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Make sure you reset.
Yep. Be ready to move to green.
For sure.
Searing Pitch. Ring of Ice.
Freeze you where you
Get out. Be on green. Okay, remember, don't rush ahead unless you're Ayumu.
Captain.
Go to the side you're assigned, get your interrupts.
Impossible! I lured you into open waters, because out here, you have no hope of escape.
Chilling touch. Icebound image.
Remember, stay together and break the ice
Icebound
blocks.
image. Icebound image.
I think we're all ice blocked. Really important we move together. As soon as one person gets left behind, then we're all going to start getting ice blocked.
Maybe left group could have someone to stack on for movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since I guess you have Rankine to follow for the right.
Yeah,
arm.
we've got Rankin. I'll stick a marker on Sean.
Can I ask something stupid, perhaps?
Yeah.
I saw a pinkish line between myself and the mini-boss. What's that?
That's a weak aura doing that. It's showing you where it is.
Oh.
And right side, remember, we're running in between the two ads, not standing on the first one.
But if someone gets left behind, call, we'll stop, we'll break you out,
5,
otherwise we'll all get
4,
frozen.
3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat left.
Freezing blast.
Avalanche.
Freezing blast.
Remember your colors, guys. Make sure you don't get it wrong.
Set charge. Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
Okay, let's switch sides.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out.
Howling winds.
Patch to the back.
Chilling touch.
Bam!
Avalanche.
Freezing blood. Freezing blood. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
White.
Time warp.
Fire is cheaper.
Yeah, fire is cheap and quick. Yeah, if there's a patch right at the back,
Chilling
don't go
touch.
for it. Go outside the
Set
circle,
charge.
and we'll get dispels. Because then we had half the group go, half not. We split people up. We got people frozen, and people died. Yeah, avalanches. You need to be careful. I actually don't mind if you're not on the correct sides. If you want to run together, it's fine, but if you're running the same side, you have to run together. Otherwise, you'll hit the person who's behind you. You just need to get it away from the rest of the raid. The raid is clumped, so they're easy to avoid, and if there's ballistas on fire, you need to get it on those ballistas.
Little
Sunti,
trick.
any chance of a repair bot?
A little trick to know which side you need to go on. If you see you have it, but you can't tell the color, you can look at your frame, your raid frame. It should show the colors on there as well.
Yeah, we don't have enough dispels to do that. We'll just die to
Okay,
the
we
avalanche
just
because
we're just going to have to hope that there's fire, and if there's not, it's probably a wipe.
we would need 4 to cover it. So
Yeah.
even with you on the priest, it's not enough.
What about the revival, or whatever it's now called, the monk one?
Oh, revival would probably work.
Yeah, it does.
I know
So-
druids don't try, but it's not necessarily smart enough to, unless you've dispelled yourself first, not dispel you, because again, paladins don't need dispelling.
Mm-hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing Blast.
Dodge.
Range.
Bam!
Boat left.
Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
You need that.
Ballista.
Yeah, break the ballista. Can we move Jaina?
Freezing Blast. Freezing Blood. Ring of Ice.
Get out. Then in fire. Let's
Searing
break
Pitch.
those ice blocks as well.
Searing
Howling
Pitch.
Winds. Avalanche.
Freezing Blood. Searing Pitch.
She can do frontal after. Range be
Searing
ready.
Freezing Blood. Freezing Blast. Searing
Range
Pitch.
dodge.
Frozen Siege.
Starboard ballista needs to go.
Any CR?
Yep.
Use it.
Chilling Touch. Freezing Blast.
Bam!
Boat right.
Time Warp. Freezing Blast. Ring of Ice.
Get out. Then in fire.
Freezing Blood. Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege.
Get me broken out.
I will freeze you.
Avalanche. She can
Searing
do frontal
Pitch.
after.
Freezing Blood. Searing Pitch. Searing Freezing Blast.
Thank you, worship.
Howling
Right,
Winds.
jump in the fire.
Freezing Blast.
That was bad luck
Searing
with the ballista on the left there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Frozen
moving.
Siege.
No.
Yeah. Sometimes she is like really stubborn about moving because we can't move her when she's in the middle of a cast.
If everyone
We
well
also
arranged.
can't if melee don't move with us because we get frozen. But at that time it was just she was being stubborn and did not want to come over.
However, if the entire range clone decides to nuke those ballistas, they're gone in a matter of 5 seconds. Stops.
Yeah, ideally you shouldn't need to, but if we need it, we can call it and they'll go.
Yeah, the ordering and her being sticky is just.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, we were both stood off to the side. She wasn't think she's a bit like Jadefire in that if you're too far, she doesn't move.
Yeah, it's why I kind of move out and in
Move
and
in,
try and
yeah.
encourage her.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege.
Bam!
Freezing Blast.
Vote
You
left.
could
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Freezing Blast. Set charge. Frozen Siege.
Okay, let's move the other side.
Freezing Blast. Searing Pitch.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
She can do frontal after.
Howling Wind. Freezing Blast. Freezing Blood. Ring of Ice.
Get out. Then
Freezing
fire.
Blood. Chilling Touch. Chilling Frozen Siege.
Bam!
Ice block.
Vote right.
Freezing Blast.
Gotta go soon,
That's
yeah.
yeah.
Time
see if
War.
she wants to cooperate.
Set charge. Searing Pitch.
Avalanche. She can do cone after.
Freezing Blood. Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Frozen Siege.
Okay, too many dead. Wipe it.
Freezing Blood. Ring of Ice. Freezing Blood. Chilling Touch.
Beware, beware of me.
Yeah, I'm calling when it could do it, and then I'm calling the sidestep when she does it. But if you hear me call frontal, then expect to be getting out the way.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Vote left. Break that ballista.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
Freezing Blast. Set charge. Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege.
Vote gone. Let's switch sides.
Freezing Blast. Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in
Howling
fire.
wind. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Chilling touch.
Avalanche.
Time
Five
war.
Break those locks.
Bam!
I'd like
Boat
Freezing
right.
blast. Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche. She can do frontal after.
Freezing ring of ice.
Get out. Then
Chilling
fire.
touch. Frozen freezing blood. Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Howling winds.
Bam!
Boat left.
Range moving left and then to middle.
Chilling touch.
No, we can't.
Freezing blast.
Let's just wipe it.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Set charge. Searing pitch. Set charge. Chilling touch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Beware of me.
Is it possible for range to move to either side when the bombs are going to...
What do you mean?
There's a lot of movement, but there's a lot of fire in the middle of the boat because we're standing still and DPSing, and then
Yeah.
birds come with the bombs. So I guess 5 seconds before that, or could we move out to either side, have the fire drop on sides, then go back to middle?
As long as you don't put it on the ballistas.
Oh right,
If
shit.
that's the risk, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
no,
we can clear the ballistas with the avalanches at least, but try to not set the ballistas on fire.
Yeah, just forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to say that you move. So dotters, please make sure you stick dots on it. It should be enough to get rid of it.
If you can stun him, he won't drop the bomb.
Sometimes you will.
Oh. Well, in that case, I hope you're using body and soul.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Freezing blast.
Boat left.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold. The tide moves against you.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Frozen pitch.
Boat down, let's switch sides.
Freezing blast.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
We'll move her after Avalanche. She could do cone, range, watch out.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Ring of
Break
ice.
base.
Freezing
Get out.
blast. Chilling touch. Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat right, break that ballista.
Freezing blast.
Range move forward.
Time warp.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand. The tide moves against you.
She can do cone after, range, watch out.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch.
Bam!
Boat left.
Howling winds. Frozen siege.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche. Cone after. Okay, too many dead, let's fly.
Searing pitch. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
The tide moves again.
Beware of me.
Seeing Avalanche and Bombard death. So remember, Bombard, watch your feet. Avalanche, you should be clumped, and that makes it easy for the person running to not go over you. If you're running it, make sure you move out in time. Your placing the Avalanche is more important than your DPS.
Those bombardments, I kind of had to dodge at that stage because the middle is filled with fire and avalanche are going off at the same time. So we've got really nowhere to run.
Well, the faster we deal with the ships, the less bombards we get. If we get bombards, then we just have to deal with it. If you've got too much fire, you can call for us to stick the frontal through the middle and clear it for you.
Sometimes I have to wait for avalanches to pass before I can do the ballistas. Would it be an idea to say that okay, next avalanches go to this side so they won't interfere with the ballistas?
We can try it. I would like someone who is better on left and right to call that, though.
Lynn's good at left and right.
Fuck you, Beth.
You're doing the ballistas
Yeah.
as well. It's not
Yeah,
the
if you know you're on purple or you're on orange,
Yeah,
then yeah, we can try that. Yeah, but if you'll need to call which side people go.
Yeah.
You're gonna call colours or side?
Colors.
Colours is safer.
And where
I
we
know,
go,
that's why I'm just asking.
and where we go when too many got avalanche?
If a colour's been called, you go on that colour. We're going to test that out.
You can run together if
Yeah,
two melee.
because running together is viable. If a colour has not been called, then go to the marker above your head. But if it has been called, go to the colour it's called, and we'll see if that
So
helps.
if too many run the same speed on top of each other, they will not kill.
No, you have to run together.
Okay.
Yeah, Ayuma, you're right. But could mean less bombardment as well. So
It's worth trying for a few pulls and see if it makes a difference or if it is a horrible mess. Let's give it a go.
So if I tell you to clear fire in the middle, you will launch the thing in the middle.
Then we'll
5,
point a frontal cone
4,
through the middle.
3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat right.
Frozen siege.
go purple with double.
Great.
Ballista. Fast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. Frontal arc.
Purple. Purple.
Freezing blast. Set charge. Mark target. Freezing blood. Frozen siege. Searing pitch.
Go orange with
Searing
avalanche
pitch.
now.
Somebody's frozen.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch.
Okay, wipe it.
Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Howling winds.
I mean, you have some time to react before the first avalanche go off, but yeah, I don't know how doable it is.
I was going to try it for a few pulls. If it's not working, we'll switch back. I want to see if it's an idea because I have seen some things that say run the two people together. It makes life easier. But it does need people to run and at the same time.
We're going to have to learn to drop things together for phase 2 anyway. So.
Mm.
Yeah, one thing you don't have to worry about anymore is looking at which marker you get, because now you just go to the cold side, so it does make up for some confusion, I guess.
Okay.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat right, break the ballista.
Avalanche go purple.
Avalanche.
Purple, 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 purple.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
Okay, switching sides.
Freezing blast.
Next avalanche go orange.
Can we have a freezing blast on the middle?
Yes, you can. Range, be ready to dodge.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then
Searing
fire.
pitch. Searing pitch. Howling winds.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. Range, be
Freezing
ready
blood.
to dodge.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Time warp. Freezing blast.
You really need the freezing blast. Perfect.
Nothing left but ash and
So we have to wait till she's willing to do it. Okay, switching sides.
Freezing blast.
Next avalanche go purple.
Frozen siege. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Avalanche to
Chilling
purple.
touch. Freezing blood.
She can do frontal after.
Bam!
Howling winds.
Yeah, let's wait. We have the entire
Frozen
melee
freezing blood.
frozen.
Freezing blood. Howling winds. Chilling touch. Freezing blast. Set charge.
Beware of me.
Could you hear my calls for the avalanche?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But need to condense them a bit because if you're calling purples 3 or 4 times when I need to make a call, it's a problem.
Yeah. No, I keep calling them because people keep going wrong.
Well, it may be that if people keep going wrong, then we might just have to drop that and have people run on their colours.
Yeah.
Yes, if calls aren't working, then we will stick with the colours, and yeah, sometimes it means you'll just need to dodge around an avalanche, but so be it.
Does mean we have to go with all avalanche to the side without the enemy ship?
No, you can go to the side without the enemy ship. You can go to the colour above your head. We're just asking you that if you're on the same side as someone else, you run with them. It's easiest if you go to the mark above your head, and once you start on a side, don't go through the range clump and kill them. Stick with the side you picked. But
Yeah,
we're not going to be calling the side of the ship, so your aim is the colour above your head. If you go wrong, don't correct.
And okay, but why we were asked to go to the specific side?
We were
What
testing
was the-
that because it avoided putting the avalanche on top of the blisters that Brittany's using to get rid of the ship, because that means he doesn't have to dodge them in order to get rid of the ship. But
Yeah,
the calls aren't helping people. People are still going to the sides anyway. So rather than take up extra Discord time and try and get everyone moving together, we're just going to go with marks above the head.
yeah, but can I finish my question?
Hmm?
So the side we were asked to go was the opposite side of the enemy ship.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can like check what the side enemy ship is and go other side.
You
Yep.
can, but
we don't
people
have to
weren't
wait
managing to
for
do that.
Calling.
So I'm also happy with you going with the marker above your head.
But yeah, ideally you're 100% correct. I shouldn't have to call it once you know where the first ship is going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Freezing
Both
blast.
right.
I will freeze you.
Avalanche.
Freezing blast. Frozen
Freezing blast
siege.
on middle would be nice, if you can.
We'll see what we can do.
Preferably towards right.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
I hope you don't
Avalanche.
mind the
Range with the portal.
Freezing blood. Ring of ice. Howling wind. Chilling
Get out,
touch.
then in fire.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Howling wind. Freezing blast.
Boat left. White.
Chilling touch. Set charge. Freezing blast.
beware of me.
Yeah, the ring migrated to the middle because she was really, really stubborn about moving. And sometimes we can't get her to reposition, and we had too much fire in the middle, so we needed to do a blast there.
Repair.
We are aiming to have the ring at about the same point every time. If it's doable without, please only call for it if you really need it, because it makes everything harder. Yeah, but if the tank moves to a bad spot, they get frozen unless melee all moves with the tank. So if you're desperate, call for a cone through the middle, but if you're not, then please don't, and we can focus on positioning.
So if I can offer input on this, my opinion on this matter is that we should never be doing the beams in the middle or back of the room. We should just cope with it because it messes up things.
It's meant to be a last resort for if the ballista we need to use is on fire and there's no avalanche anytime soon. That's the time we should be doing it, if not at all. For anything else, ideally you can sidestep. It's only if you're absolutely desperate. But we will if it's desperate and we can't cope otherwise.
Well, the issue is I see a lot of range moving out of position a lot due to fire in the middle.
Well, they need to be on the marker, so if they're not on you, they're in the wrong place. Range, stick on the marker. Yeah, I think we are due flask. We'll do one more pull, then we'll get flasks. Remember, stick on the marker. Careful with your
5,
avalanche. Don't
4,
put it on people.
3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat right. Break that ballista.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. She can do frontal after.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Could you move her?
They are on it. Wait.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Bam!
Avalanche. She can do frontal after.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
White, you have both tanks frozen.
Get
due to
bad.
the lack of people. I just wipe it.
Chilling touch. Set charge. Freezing blast.
You beware, beware of me.
Okay, that pool was a mess. Let's do that better.
Glass?
Yeah, we could do with another cauldron now. Okay, we'll do another pull, then we'll get the cauldron since there's not one down and everyone said ready.
Five, four, three, two, one.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Oh, it's fine, you can have it.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. Range, be ready to dodge.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Bam!
Boat right.
Frozen siege.
Res me.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Freezing blood. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Howling wind. Chilling touch. Pitch.
Avalanche.
Freezing blood.
Range, you guys up? Come on.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat left.
Time warp. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Backwards.
Searing freezing pitch. Blast. Searing pitch. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Wipe.
Yeah, wipe.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
Moves against you.
Bam!
Freezing blast.
Beware, beware of me.
Okay, let's have a cauldron before I do a red check. Grab your flasks. Yeah, this is what I keep saying about using the clump and the fire to clear your stacks. So, for example, I use the melee clump when I'm running it. So there's a mostly a clump there. So I would run next to it, and between drops I'll do a little wiggle in and then back out again. So you don't drop an avalanche on them, but you do clear stacks. It's really easy to do. You can also go through fire as you're about to get frozen, and essentially you freeze, and then you get instantly broken by the fire. But it is easy enough to use the clump.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
I will freeze you.
Avalanche.
Freezing Blast.
Boat left.
Frozen Siege. Set charge. Freezing Blast.
Switch sides.
Ring of Ice. Searing
Get
Pitch.
out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Howling
Searing
Winds.
Pitch.
Howling Winds.
Avalanche.
Freezing Blood. Frozen Siege. Chilling Touch.
Bam!
Boat right.
Freezing Blast.
Get ballista up.
Time Warp. Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
I hope you don't mind.
Ice block.
Avalanche. She can do frontal after.
Ring of Ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Chilling Touch. Searing Pitch. Freezing Blast. Freezing Blood.
Range, can you be on the markers, please? You're all over the place. Come
Frozen
on.
Siege.
Get ballista.
Howling Winds.
Bam!
Boat left.
Freezing Blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. Can do frontal.
Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Chilling Touch.
In the middle.
Frozen Siege.
Switching sides.
Ring of Ice.
Out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Freezing Blast.
Just transitioning. You don't need to do that, ballista. Make sure your stacks are clear.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Be on green.
On the horizon. You have nowhere left to run. Ice Witch. You really
Maggot,
think
could you
I've
go
been
right side?
running, Captain?
Both right side healers today.
Wait, remember, move together unless you're assigned.
I lured you into open waters Because out here, you have no hope of escape.
Chilling touch. Icebound image. Freezing blood. Freezing blood. Icebound image.
Remember to stay together and break the ice blocks.
Chilling touch.
It's the white.
Icebound image.
The right side got our 2 images down, but we had 2 people ice blocked. How was left side?
We got one person ice blocked, and we split, and then we split.
Don't split. Remember, on both sides, you need to move as the pattern is the same, yeah. So once you get used to it, it's quite easy to dodge.
Still some flask left, by the way.
There's also on the right side at least, there's a relatively safe spot where you can stand and you'll not have to move much at all. There's potentially similar on the left, but right side there's definitely a safe spot.
The hammer down.
Our little troublemakers woke up.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat right, break the ballista.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche, which you can do frontal after.
Freezing blast.
Dodge.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing
Switch
blast.
sides.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then fire.
Howling winds. Searing touch. Frozen searing pitch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Freezing
Expect
blood.
cone after.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Time warp.
Bam!
Boat
Chilling
left.
touch. Frozen siege.
Break that
Freezing
ballista.
blast.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Expect cone
Mark
after.
target. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Ring of ice.
Out, then in fire.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Searing pitch. Howling winds.
The ballista needs to go down, by the way.
Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat right.
Freezing blast.
Any CRs available?
Nope.
Install it.
Avalanche. You can
Chilling
do
touch.
frontal after.
Freezing blast.
Set range dodge.
Frozen siege.
Don't you attack every time?
Yeah, transitioning shortly. Ignore the
Ring of
ballista.
ice.
Out, then
Searing
in fire.
pitch. Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
You have nice block. Good.
Green. Remember, move together.
You really think I've been running, Captain?
Impossible!
I lured you into open waters because out here, you have no hope of escape.
Remember, stick together. Don't get ice blocked.
Chilling touch.
Stop Sunti frozen.
Icebound image. Icebound image.
Break light as well.
Icebound image.
Keep looking at your feet, guys, or you will end up like
Freezing
them.
blood.
We break her out. Break
Oh, come
Sunti. Dodge better Sunti.
Icebound image.
Yeah.
Icebound image.
No, it's going to suffer. Yeah, during these intermissions, really keep an eye on the floors. It's more imperative than anything else.
Yeah, remember the settings that Base
Is it
gave
Jaina?
a couple of raids ago really help with seeing the stuff in the intermission.
I have a weak aura for that. That do with automatic.
Can you share it?
I did share it with you.
Should we kill third image before interrupting Jaina?
You have to, otherwise you can't interrupt Jaina.
Oh, the image was so close to her. It was very hard to dodge.
Yeah, well, you're just gonna have to manage. Yeah, it is so important that people don't get ice blocked, because when we get someone ice blocked, we have fewer people in the clump, which means everyone else is going to get ice blocked.
If I saw correctly, Light was using a Blessing of Freedom and it's still frozen, so don't count on those.
Give me a
Well,
second.
Blessing of Freedom won't help with that.
I'm looking for that weak aura.
I what?
I thought you had the Blessing of Freedom on you when you
No.
got hit and instantly blocked. Okay, my bad.
It would just help with the speed, right?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Oh wow, revelation.
She freezes Ballista.
Yeah, the nearest unfrozen. We've known that. This is why we put dots on the one that's frozen. We don't need to burn it down, but we do need to dot it so it goes away. We get 2 ice blocks. Yeah, dots should be more than enough to do that though. Just all dotters, make sure you do it and reapply if needed.
Yeah, there was one instance where I didn't
No.
have it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat right.
Freezing blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
So this one.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Siege.
Switching sides.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out.
Searing
Burning
pitch.
fire.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Howling winds. Chilling touch.
Pitch. Bam!
Avalanche. Expect cone after. Get him up.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Time warp. Freezing blast.
Switching sides.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
We'll move after.
Searing pitch. Freezing blood.
Expect
Searing
frontal.
pitch. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Freezing blood. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Get out. Then in fire.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
On the starboard side.
Howling winds. Freezing blast.
Someone need to do right side ballistas.
Got it.
Set charge. Set
I hope
charge.
you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Wipe it.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
They belong to the sharks now. The tide moves against you.
I guess you were dead there or something.
Yeah, I was blown off the ship.
Okay.
Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Could you just call for someone else to do first ballista if that happens?
Yeah,
I
sure.
missed it. Thanks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Bam!
Boat left.
Freezing blast. Frozen Siege.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche. She can do cone after.
Freezing Blast. Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast. Ring of Ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Howling Pitch.
Bam!
Avalanche.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Vote right.
Time Warp. Chilling Touch. Freezing Blast. Charge.
Okay, guys.
Switching sides.
Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche.
Searing Pitch. Ring of Ice.
Out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch.
Bam!
Freezing
Vote
Blast.
left.
Howling Winds. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blood.
I need the help left side ballistas.
Freezing Blast. Set
Two
charge.
more.
The bomb.
Thank you.
Ice block.
Chilling Touch.
Avalanche. 64%. Keep an eye on your stats.
Searing Pitch. Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege. Ring of Ice.
Out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch.
Bam!
Freezing Blast.
Almost at intermission.
Freezing Blood.
There is always cover.
Run.
You really
Green.
think I've been running, Captain?
Hey, move together. Good dodging now.
I lured you into open waters because out here, you have no hope of escape.
Icebound Image. Chilling
Watch your
Touch.
feet.
Freezing Blood. Icebound Freezing Blood. Freezing Blood.
Ice block.
Icebound Image. Freezing Blood. Chilling Touch.
We should barely stop. By the way.
Yeah.
Like dot it, hit it 3 times, and then pass it back.
Yeah, left side might need to stop
Yeah.
because they're melee heavy, but our side is really a case of dots.
Of me.
Just let the guys dot it up, melee, hit it kind of twice, and then run to the next one. Because, yeah, it's really impossible when anyone gets ice block.
Yeah, we really can't have it.
What was confusing to me is when one person got blocked, so then people start running around circles and your visibility just destroyed completely. You don't see anything anymore.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
Freezing Blast.
Bam!
Vote right.
Freezing Blood. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blood. Freezing Blast. Freezing
Vote
Blood.
done. Let's switch.
Freezing Blood.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Expect frontal after.
I will
Ring of
freeze
Ice.
you where you stand.
Out, then in fire.
Chilling Touch. Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast. Freezing Blood. Time Warp.
Bam!
Vote left.
Freezing Blast. Chilling Touch. Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch.
Avalanche. She can do cone after.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Vote gone. Switching sides.
Ring of Ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch.
Range on marker.
Frozen Siege. Howling Winds.
Bam!
I will freeze
Wipe
you
it.
where you stand.
Chilling Touch.
You will be whisked away.
Searing Pitch.
Remember, range, you need to be on the marker. Melee, you need to move back into melee. If you can't make it in time, use the range clump to reset. We're going to have break time now, and then we're going to come back to this. You've got 10 minutes. Yeah, it should always be on the outside of the ship and not on the range clump. You can move close to the range clump to reset your freezing, but you can't run the avalanche on top of them because you'll kill them.
I was thinking if we wanted to try with people running avalanches on the opposite side of the ballistas that are being used. That will always be on the same side that boss is. I don't know if that's would be an easy way to do it. If you want to try that more, that is.
It might work. It would also make life easy for the melee because they're already on that side.
Yeah.
Let me have a think about that.
Also, in the intermission, can you put the chat bubbles from the interrupt to raid, please? Thanks, Mark.
Igor?
Yes.
Can we have a summoning stone?
No.
Right, that is end of break. Right, let's get buffed and then get going. We do have 4 priests now, so it does mean if the there's no fire in a convenient spot for the ring, don't worry, we can dispel. The priority is to get out of the ring and to stay as a clump. Actually, yeah, that's true. We don't even need to get in the fire. Just need to get outside the ring and clump up. So, yeah. Let's just use those master spells.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat left.
Freezing blast.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
Boat gone. Let's move.
They belong to the sharks now.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out. Clump for dispel.
Howling winds. Chilling touch.
Bam!
Frozen siege.
Avalanche. Expect frontal after. Boat right. Move with us.
Freezing blast. Time war. Set charge. Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Searing blast.
Oh, me.
You should go
Frozen
back to
siege.
you after I took it off you.
Yeah, why?
Let's switch sides.
I stopped hitting.
You will be washed away.
Confess.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Freezing blood. Chilling touch.
Bam!
Frozen siege.
You will be washed away. Beware of me.
Will do, Dashi. I'm assuming he sleeps with Discord open. I'll do another ready check since we're making group changes.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat left.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. She can do frontal after.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
Switching sides.
Freezing blast.
Make sure you don't touch the ballista.
Ring of ice.
Get out. Clump for master spell.
Howling winds.
I will freeze you.
Bam!
Break him.
Freezing blood. Freezing blood. Chilling touch.
You can do frontal
Freezing
after.
blast.
Frozen back, sorry. I need help right
siege.
side the ballistas.
Chilling touch. Time warp. Freezing blast. Chilling touch.
Yeah,
One more
ballista on
ballista.
fire.
You will be washed away.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Searing
Standard
pitch.
fire.
I will freeze
Searing
you
pitch.
where you stand.
We really can't get people
Searing
frozen.
pitch. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Sorry, did we decide on anything on these avalanches? Just
We
running
decided
into
that we
free-for-all?
weren't. Yeah, we decided we're not going to try and get both on the same side with the across from where the boat is, because people won't manage to catch on, and if they don't run together, it causes problems.
I messed my avalanche run, so sorry for that. I probably put you in an awkward position.
What do you mean when you say opposite of boat?
So we were trying having whichever side the boat is on, have both people run on the opposite side, so they're not on the ballistas. But we found people didn't understand what was going on, and if people don't run together, it causes issues. So it's a case of run on the side above your head. If you're trapped on the wrong side, then don't stress, run on the wrong side rather than put it through the range clump.
That's also the same side as boss, because we keep the boss opposite side of where we want the ballistas. The ballistas shooting the next boat.
But it only works if people actually run together, and I'm concerned that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's also not that easy. Sometimes one person comes from the melee, the other comes from the ranged, and that's a problem for that ranged person.
But it's also a case of if you both happen to be on the same side and you can run together, don't force yourself to cross over just to be on the side above your head. The emphasis is on making sure you're safe, you're not putting the avalanche on people, you're not killing people.
Yeah.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Freezing blast.
Boat left, break that ballista.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Boat gone, let's switch.
Searing pitch.
That's my bad with the boat there.
Freezing
That was
blood.
very late, sorry.
Ring of ice.
Get out, clump for dispel.
Howling Searing pitch.
Bam!
Avalanche.
Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Frozen
Boat
siege.
right.
Freezing blast. Time warp. Chilling
Yeah, but you
touch.
need to move for the fire as
Set
well.
charge. Searing
You can
pitch.
switch sides.
There's a bomb that's gonna go off.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch.
Still 3 ballistas.
Searing pitch.
We'll get those done.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Searing pitch.
I will freeze you where you
Searing pitch.
Avalanche.
Searing pitch.
Okay, wipe it.
Freezing device. Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Freezing blood.
That was just a
Searing
horrible try from my side, sorry.
Searing
Yeah,
pitch.
that fire did not
Frozen
really
siege.
help. But
Freezing blast.
No, I was just, I don't know what happened. I zoned out or something.
Okay, I want all the DPS to fully range as well. I really don't want to see any DPS that needs resing. Yeah, shit will hit the fan sometimes, but just focus on living. Use your cooldowns. You have them for a reason.
Everyone, I hope everyone understands that you can reset the freeze as well by running into.
I've explained it enough times that I hope everyone does. But remember the difference between the things. If you move near people, then your counter will reset. To use fire, as you're going to freeze, you step into the fire and it stops you freezing. So they work slightly differently, but do make sure you're not getting frozen. We cannot have people frozen. We also cannot have avalanche dropped on top of people, so make sure you're placing it safely. We're going to have tanks doing it, and the far end of the boat where the boss is. And then DPS is going to run it up the sides. Yeah, that works if you've got enough space for it, Ayumu. Some of it's going to depend on where the ranged clump is, though, I think.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat right.
Freezing blast.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
Boat down. Let's swap sides.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out. Clump for this spell.
Howling winds.
Expect
Chilling
avalanche
pitch.
next. Avalanche.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Bam!
Boat left.
Time warp. Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Chilling touch.
Frozen in the back.
Searing pitch.
Need 2 more ballistas
Set
left.
charge.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Searing
One
pitch.
more left side.
Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Range dodge. That's
Ring of
white.
ice.
Too many dead.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing blood. Searing pitch.
You will be washed away.
Set charge.
On the starboard side. Of me.
We had 2 avalanches set off and ranged.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, we always have one on a tank, and the tank is going to be running where the boss is.
But if two people from range drop two avalanches on ranged group, and there's fire behind them, if you've got an immunity, you might be good, but unless, otherwise you just...
Avalanches, just don't run over the clumps, please. Your job is to keep it away from the clump. You can move a little bit towards it to reset your stacks, but that is going to be towards it, not on top of it. Don't put the thing on them.
I think the issue was just late movement.
Yeah, but if everyone is in a nice tight clump, it's going to make life a lot easier because there should be space either side of it. And if everyone dodges, then the avalanche is probably going to guess wrong and get someone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Bam!
Give them a taste of our cannons.
Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege. Set charge. Freezing Blast. Chilling Touch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Howling Wind. Ring of Ice.
Get out.
Chilling Touch. Freezing Blood. Chilling Touch. Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege.
Bam!
Boat right. Get the ballista.
Freezing Blast. Time Warp. Chilling Touch.
Avalanche.
Searing Pitch.
Expect cone after.
Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast. Ring of Ice.
Get out. Clump for Dispel.
Chilling Touch.
Icebook.
Bam!
Boat left.
Freezing Blood. Freezing Blast. Howling Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege.
I hope you don't mind
Avalanche.
the cold.
Freezing Blood. Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Chilling Touch. Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
Reset your stacks.
Ring of Ice.
Get out. Get Dispel.
Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Chilling Touch.
Beyond
Freezing
green.
Blood.
Remember, move together.
I
Dodge.
think I've been running, Captain.
Impossible!
I lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape.
Going to move together.
Icebound image. Chilling touch.
Red.
Chilling touch. Icebound image. Icebound image. Icebound image. Icebound image.
Drop it.
It's time
It's
we
doing
Yeah, we had too many people frozen, but we got through the images.
Glacial
we got
ray.
to Jaina, which is good.
You will be washed away.
Can we not stop it after 2?
Sorry, I think I went on the
I
wrong
hope you
side.
don't mind
I'm in the
cold.
different group now, yeah? I'm in group 1.
If you're in group 1, you're going left.
Yeah, okay, because before I was in group 2, okay.
No, you've always been in group 1 tonight, I thought.
No?
You've been assigned
Ice
to interrupt in group on the left group all night, so I'd be surprised if you're not been in that group all night.
Beware
I think he was in group 4 before.
of me.
Oh, we only got the first hit. Stopped as soon as the phase transition hit.
Yeah. We do need people to stop getting frozen. Sort out your graphic settings. Make sure that you don't stand in anything. Make sure you move together. We really, as soon as we start getting people frozen, we get more and more frozen, and then it's going to be a wipe. Yeah, problem with leaving frozen behind is it means you've got less people, but you shouldn't be frozen in the first place.
When she's pushed in the middle of the avalanche, half of the avalanche
5,
is already
4,
happening.
3,
One of them left.
2,
Like you have
1.
one tick. It stops.
Frozen siege.
Literally had it just that.
Bam!
I'm still in the group.
Boat left.
Freezing blast.
I will freeze
Avalanche.
you where you stand.
Freezing blast. Freezing blast.
They belong to the sharks now.
Frozen siege.
I hope you don't mind
Avalanche.
cold.
Howling ring of ice.
Freeze you where you
Will do.
stand.
Bam!
Freezing
Boat
blast.
right. Range dodge.
Frozen siege. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
I hope you don't mind
Avalanche.
cold.
Searing pitch.
Nothing left but ash and splinter.
Frozen siege.
Switching sides.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out.
Searing
Plump for the
pitch.
spell.
Bam!
Boat left.
Howling winds. Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Freezing blood. Chilling
Avalanche.
touch. Charge.
She can do frontal after.
Two
Use
more
that res.
ballistas left.
Chilling touch.
2 ballistas left. One more. Thank you.
Freezing blast.
Nothing left but ash and splinter.
Frozen siege.
The green.
Searing pitch.
Stack.
On the horizon. You have nowhere left to run. Ice witch.
You really think I've been
Remember,
running,
move together.
Captain?
Don't get ice blocked.
Impossible.
Good dodging now.
I lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape.
Chilling touch.
Come on.
Need to sort that dodging.
Icebound
Sunti.
image.
Keep going, we got dodge.
Icebound image. Icebound image.
Because when we go back, we get spread and that happens. We're all ice blocked.
Please don't wait for it to be actually dead. We have like 3 shadow priests. And wolves.
Yeah,
Icebound
our side is we dot the first one, we'll move to the next. Because then the melee can stand in the safe spot as well. Don't get ice blocked. If someone's ice blocked, everyone is going to move without them. Because when we go back, we get spread and we all get ice blocked.
What also doesn't help is when as people are starting to yell that they're being frozen, that over the right 7.
Yeah, sorry about that, mate.
No, that's not specifically to you. It's when it goes to itself. It's just almost unrecoverable because you have no idea where the patches are.
Turning your contrast to 80 helps.
Yeah.
Along with the other things.
Okay, let's not stand in those so much. We should be taking less searing pitch damage than before, given that we're using the Master Spell rather than standing in it. So now there's actually mostly no reason to stand in it unless you're stopping yourself from freezing.
What were you saying? A sec.
Yeah.
I don't think we took that much that time.
Yeah, we should be avoiding searing pitch damage. Let's pay attention to that.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat left.
I hope you don't
Avalanche.
cold.
She can do cone after.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
Boat down.
Freezing
Let's switch
blast.
sides.
Searing pitch. Freezing blood.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing howling winds.
Range dodge.
Ring of ice.
White.
Where you stand.
Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Frozen freezing blood.
Bam!
On the starboard side.
The tide moves against you.
Yeah, even if it looks like the time is not going to happen, yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, that was avalanche hitting just before as well, that I couldn't see.
I was wondering why I couldn't move as fast as I wanted to.
Yeah, I got hit by avalanche 0.4 seconds before the blast hit.
Santi, any chance for the pedal, please?
Yeah, sure.
More.
I'll keep in mind to move the group forward, not backwards. Probably my fault, sorry.
Is the effects glow?
Thank the Lord.
Not too much forward if you can, as long as it's avoidable, please, because sometimes it's pretty far run with the ballistas if there isn't fire up in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it between the first and second, like the first quad.
Yep.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat right.
Freezing blast.
Avalanche. Expect cone after.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
Boat gone. Switch sides.
Nothing left but ash and splinter.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out. Stack the dispel.
Howling winds.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat left.
Give them a taste of our cat.
Time warp. Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Searing pitch.
Yeah,
Frozen
switch
siege.
sides.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Searing pitch. Ring of ice.
Get out, plump for this spell.
Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat right.
Howling winds. Frozen siege. Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Freezing blood.
Avalanche. Expect frontal after.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
Remember to clear stacks.
Ring of ice.
Get out, plump for this
Searing
spell.
pitch. Chilling
Drop
touch.
stacks, remember.
Ready to plump. Be on green. But move together. Don't get frozen.
You really think I've been wrong, Captain?
Impossible!
I lured you into open waters because out here, you have no hope of escape.
Chilling touch. Icebound image. Icebound image. Icebound image.
I can't interrupt it anymore.
Chilling touch. Chilling touch.
Yeah, we had too many people frozen, right? So the rest of us got frozen.
Are we stopping there, Becca?
Stopping where?
The second one, because then it's the boss, or are we going to the third one?
Well, we're splitting the raid unevenly, so the 3 should be dead. It might be that we need to have an additional person on the left side, because we should then be, as 2 are dead, we can pick up the boss and bring it to the
Well,
barrel.
it's 2 on right, isn't it? And
2 on right, 3 on left, which is why we do 11 on the left and 9 on the right, and we have both tanks on the right because we're lower DPS.
Yeah.
So they've got sort of 11 versus our... Well,
9.
take into account healers. They've got 9. We've got more like 6. So 3 per ad, essentially.
Also, just one quick thing is that healers need to watch out for a dispel right before then. I think we've got someone stuck on the boat because.
Ayumu didn't get the spell, you're right.
Yeah, need to be careful that no one gets stuck.
Did
Let's get
right
some-
side manage to kill the first ad?
Right,
Yeah.
we were waiting for the boss to be through.
Yeah, our ads died.
And then we were running towards the boss, which we shouldn't do. We should stay back.
Yeah,
Which is
we
what
stay
we
in the
did.
safe spot,
Yeah.
and then we interrupt the boss and we bring the boss to us.
Don't run towards the boss after the second one's dead. There's a nice safe area there.
Yeah.
Maybe left side meets like 3 shadow priests.
It might be we need to split things a bit better. We can look at that. It's hard to tell though when we're getting people ice blocked if
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
the DPS is wrong or we just need people to not get ice blocked. Alright, I think light has DC'd.
The right side just ran past the first ad and it died. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Shadow Priests
Warlocks.
and Warlocks and things. We have a lot of dots, so we can dot the first one and move to the second one. Dashi, are you around if the light doesn't look
I'm
back on?
logging in. Yep.
Perfect.
Are you live logging, Sunday?
Yes.
Thank you.
Right, let's summon.
I'm just zoning in. Hang on.
Yeah, but this way we have a portal up ready waiting for you.
Singer, you got a Hellstone?
I thought I put one down.
Sorry, didn't see it. My bad.
But for all I know, I didn't put one down.
Am I going full healer?
I think we're gonna need you to, as we've only got 4 healers.
Can you go half healer?
That's pretty much what it was then before.
Yeah, but that means he has cooldowns, but isn't a lot of use for healing otherwise, and will probably feel it. Right, let's see
5,
some more care on
4,
those
3,
avalanches.
2,
And better dodging
1.
and intermission.
Can you stop pre-pulling whoever?
Frozen
That's
siege.
freaking annoying.
Bam!
Avalanche. Spec cone after.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Set charge.
Ballista.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Okay, no more pre-pulling. It's stupid that the boss goes in the middle of the raid at the start. That 1 second is not going to affect your DPS.
Beware of me.
But yeah, this boss is annoying enough to move as it is, so don't make it even more annoying, please.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bam!
Freezing blast.
Avalanche.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Pitch. Freezing blast. Ring of ice. Searing
Get out.
pitch.
Pump for this spell.
Howling wind siege. Chilling touch.
Avalanche.
Searing pitch. Chilling touch.
Bam!
Freezing blast.
Boat left.
Time warp.
Need to get those ice blocks away, guys.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Set charge. Searing pitch. Mark target. Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Beware of me.
Yeah, I'd like to see some suggestions. Videos are good. I usually troll Reddit a lot as well.
Well, the way to avoid ice blocks is to have them run together. Because if it's
I-
less than 2 people,
Except
then
when it's
they
5
can't ice
people
block.
needed, then they're still
Well,
going to get
Yeah, but what other alternatives are there? There isn't.
people being good at using the fire or the clump to reset.
Well, yeah, there isn't a
that's
tactic change.
Yeah, it's like pay attention, and if you're in the clump, stay clumped. If you're running avalanche, use the weak auras. You've got a bar for avalanche. You've got a circle for being frozen. Use them, and don't get frozen.
Yeah, I don't know how intentional the first avalanches that run was, but they went on opposite sides of the ballistas to shoot the boat with, and that was perfect. Yeah.
5,
Yeah, we'll just
4,
say it was.
3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Freezing blast.
Bam!
Boat right.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. Expect cone after.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
So let's switch over.
Searing pitch. Ring of ice.
Out.
Searing pitch.
Clump to master spell.
Howling winds.
Avalanche.
Chilling
Freezing
touch.
blood.
Freezing blast.
Ranged dodge.
Freezing blood. Freezing blood. Frozen siege.
Bam!
Last boat.
Time war. Chilling touch. Freezing blast. Set charge. Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
Boat down. Let's switch. Avalanche.
Ring of ice. Chilling touch.
Get out. Clump for dispel.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Bam!
Chilling touch. Howling
Boat
winds.
right.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche. Use that res.
Chilling touch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Just axe.
Ready for
Ring of
transition.
ice.
Lump on green.
Make sure you're not left behind, guys.
Okay, good dodging now.
You really think I've been running, Captain?
Yeah, I see phase 2 now.
Impossible!
I lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape.
Right, stay together and good dodging.
Icebound image. Chilling touch. Icebound image. Icebound image. Icebound image. Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Icebound image. Freezing blood.
Yep, phase 2. So, remember your bait.
Glacial ray.
Okay, let's fly.
Chilling touch.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Arctic ground. Chilling touch.
Not better though. Good job.
Ice fall.
Beware,
Yeah.
beware of me.
We
So,
started out with everyone alive, but I'm not sure when we lost people on the left side.
a Yuma got frozen. I'm not sure if it was because it was too far ahead or too far behind.
Yeah, there's an avalanche travel time.
Oh, I think I fired the ballista instead of eating.
Yeah, that's not gonna help.
No.
Okay, can someone sort Meg up with a flask? Okay, I'm guessing since you're ready, someone did.
Five, four,
Cool, so
three,
movement abilities to get
2,
out.
1.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Vote right.
Freezing blast.
Break that ballista.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Avalanche.
Freezing blast. Set charge.
Oh, it's meaning.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Okay, let's switch to the other side.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out and clump.
Howling winds. Frozen siege.
Vote left. Avalanche. Boss will move after.
Freezing touch. Freezing blast. Set charge. Set charge.
Beware of me.
Okay, there is a scrap bot. Repair. Right, let's see if we can sort these avalanches. Just know when it's on you. You've got trackers. You know that if you move out with the speed boost, it will help. I think we've all had avalanche enough times to have an idea of how it behaves.
I do think the person was rooted.
Oh, that was a dispel.
That doesn't help.
No, that, yeah, no dispels on that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Vote right.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
where you stand.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Okay, switching sides.
Frozen siege.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Howling winds. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you
Get
stand.
out. Lump for the spell.
Chilling touch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Kill the list.
Bam!
Quickly.
Vote left.
Time warp. Chilling
Freezing
touch.
blast.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Avalanche.
The tide moves against you. Shots now.
Range, be ready to move.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out. Pump for the spell.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Bam!
Vote right. Mover.
Howling winds. Frozen siege. Freezing blood.
Avalanche. Range ready to dodge.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
Range
Set
dodge.
charge.
Wipe it. Yeah, portal's gone for Sango's dead.
Chilling searing pitch. Searing pitch.
So I thought you said you needed
Frozen
me.
siege. Freezing blast.
Beware
Right.
of me.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Freezing
Vote
blast.
left.
Ballista.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing blast. Set charge. Frozen siege.
Changing sides.
Freezing blood. Chilling touch.
Use
Freezing
that res.
blast.
I'll rest him after Trank.
Okay.
Ring of ice.
Get out. Plump for this spell.
Howling winds.
Bam!
Avalanche.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Chilling touch. Chilling touch. Time warp.
Can't res.
Freezing blast.
someone off tank it.
You can just practice your position and
Ring of ice.
get out. Clump for the dispel.
Frozen siege. Chilling
Searing
touch.
pitch.
Bam!
Searing
Avalanche.
pitch. Freezing blood. Searing pitch.
Right,
Searing
let's wipe
pitch.
that and go again.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Howling wind. Freezing blast. Set charge.
Beware of me.
I thought the barrels should be visible. There's also a weak aura to track when they're there, although then Twice still needs to look for them. Right, this is going to be the last pull. But if anyone does see a barrel that it's obvious Twi hasn't for some reason, do feel free to call it. Help him out. Awkward spot, okay.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen siege.
Bam!
Boat left.
Freezing blast.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Freezing blast.
There's a bomb drop.
Frozen
Okay,
siege.
ship down, switching sides.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Out, clump for dispel.
Howling winds.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
where you stand.
Range ready for frontal.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Chilling touch.
We have ability on fire in the back.
Frozen
Right
siege.
side.
Time warp. Chilling touch.
You will be washed away.
Freezing blast.
Use that res, thanks.
That's in fire, watch out.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Get out, clump for dispel.
Searing pitch.
I will freeze you where
Searing freezing blood.
Right, wipe it.
Searing pitch. Freezing blood.
moves again.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Okay, that is end of raid. Thanks, guys. So focus next time is going to be we want to sort out the avalanches a bit more, see if we can have less deaths from them. So if you see some good things, stick them on Discord.
Accidentally teleport, so no portal.
Sorry, we have a good mage here.
You hurt my feelings.
That was the intention.
Use ice block and thou will be safe.
Refrigerator, you have DBM or big wigs? Bah.
Make sure you repeat. You repair, guys. You have 3 seconds. Okay, I'll give another.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummels, like you.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.
Night.